Let's grab our green loop band. That's your green loop band in the YouniquelyFit kit. Bringing it above our elbows, all the way above the elbows. Taking the forearms onto the foam roller, palms facing in towards one another. Knees hip distance apart or wider if you'd like, sitting back into a child's pose. The forehead will hit the band. I want you to inhale, pushing the forehead into the band. Exhale, sitting back heavy on the heels. Inhale, pushing the forehead into the band, activating the front neck muscles that are weak. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back. Inhale, forehead pushes into the band as the pelvis grounds down to the floor. Exhale, inner thighs pull you deeper into your child's pose. Breathing laterally, 2, 3, 4. Pull the abs in, lift up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee, and exhale the air out. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, push the forehead into the band. And exhale, pelvis pulls back to the heels. Let's rise up. We're going to take that band now down to our wrists, palms still facing in, twisting on the diagonal for a child's pose that's twisted to the right. As you sit back, I want you to push down into the wrist into the roller and pull out into to that band to engage the abductors of your arms, your triceps, and your posterior delts. Since you've twisted to your right, your left butt cheek needs to sit even heavier on the heels to stretch the lower QL low back area. Inhale, pelvis pulls down, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, inner thighs pull back, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, the arms push down and pull out. Exhale, lower pelvic floor muscles, the muscles that stop your stream of pee, lift in and up, and that's internal. And one more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Brace the abs. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Coming up to sit. Taking that twist to the other side. Going to the left now. Sitting the right butt cheek heavy on the heels. Pushing down and out into the arms. Inhale, breathing laterally. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, brace the abs. Vagamera. So actively pulling the belly in and tugging up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee to contract your transverse abdominis, the deepest layer of the core, which initiates and helps with all movement. So really try and pull the pelvis down to the floor and push down and out into those arms. Soften your facial muscles, your chest muscles and shoulder muscles. Engage your lower abdominals. One more breath here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Sit heavy. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale up, grabbing your purple loop band, setting this green band to the side. Bring your purple loop band around your outer thighs. Once it's around the outer thighs, we'll bring our tailbone to the bottom of our foam roller and our head to the top. Make sure your full spine is supported on the roller. From here, find your neutral pelvis, so that's somewhere between arching and rounding. One hand can slide under the back, but not two hands. Make sure you have a neutral pelvis. Now remember, this is only level 2, so if you're still building your abs and you notice the front of the thighs and the groin area, your hip flexors recruiting, you can always tuck your pelvis under, flattening your low back into the roller, working in flexion to turn off those overactive hip flexors and quads. Our goal is to recruit our core. As the band around your thighs gets lighter, you're using less hamstrings and more lower pelvic floor. So the lighter the band, the more the core has to work. That's why the band is getting progressively lighter. Okay, from here, arms to cactus. Soften the sternum and breastbone in. Wrap the shoulder blades around the roller. Hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1, maintain that neutral pelvis. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3, bringing the arms down by your side. Either the hands heavy by the hips or the elbows into the floor with the forearms facing up towards one another. Palms facing in towards one another, shoulders plugged down. Neutralize that pelvis, or if you're noticing gripping in the thighs and hip flexors already, tuck the pelvis and work in flexion like a scared puppy, flattening the low back into the roller. Inhale, lengthen the pelvis to the wall in front of you as you float those legs up to up all the way to perpendicular. So creating a right angle with the legs and torso. Point the toes, legs hip distance apart if you have knee or back issues, together if you do not. From here, dominant leg or tighter leg lowers down. Inhale to prepare. Feel the pelvis pulling down towards the wall in front of you. Exhale, lower that leg. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift it up. 2, 3, 4. Stay on the same side. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift. 2, 3, 4. Keep with this tempo. Lowering. 2, 3, 4. And lifting. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Lower. 2, 3, 4. And lift. 2, 3, 4. One more. Lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, pelvis lengthens as you lift it up. At the top, externally rotate the legs, not from the knees or the ankles, but from the top of your hip socket. Subtle external rotation. Don't go crazy. And from here, keep the legs hip distance apart if you have knee or back issues. Together if not. Toes are pointed. Same leg lowers down. 2, 3, 4. It lifts up. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift. 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift. 2, 3, 4. Final one and lower. 2, 3, 4. And lift. 2, 3, 4. From here, bend both knees, exhaling both legs back to the floor, hip distance apart, arms to cactus. Option to bring the thighs together to challenge your balance here. Soften the sternum and breastbone in. Keep the legs hip distance apart if you're wobbling too much. Press the arms overhead. Inhale, bending the elbows, coming back to your cactus goalpost position. Inhale, pressing the arms overhead, softening the sternum in, fighting to keep the shoulder blades wrapped around the roller, bending the elbows on your exhale. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows. Coming back to the hands by the hips or the elbows by the side of the roller with the forearms up, palms facing in. Inhale, neutral pelvis or pelvic flexion if you're feeling your thighs or hip flexors working too much. Floating the legs up, perpendicular to the floor, toes pointed, hip distance apart if you have knee or back issues, together if not. Non-dominant or not as tight leg lowers down. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift it. 2, 3, 4. Lowering down. 2, 3, 4. And lifting. Almost sneezed there. 3, 4. And exhale to lower. Inhale, pelvis lengthens forward as you lift. 2, 3, 4. Are you feeling the quads and thighs? Do you need to tuck your pelvis under and flatten your low back into the roller? You be the judge of this. You know your body. You can tell where you're working. You'll feel the backs of the legs working. You should feel the internal core muscles firing. Let's externally rotate the legs now in the hip sockets. So turning out not from our knees or our ankles, but from the top of our hips. Still keeping the legs hip distance apart if you have knee or back issues. Together, if not, the heels will brush by one another. Same leg we were just working. Lowers down. 2, 3, 4. And lifts up. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, lower. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift. 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Final one, exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale both legs to the floor. Slowly making your way off the roller. Keep the purple band on. Grab that green loop band we were just using and bring it above your elbows. With it above your elbows, you're going to put your forearms onto the roller, coming into a forearm plank. Legs hip distance apart if you have any back or knee issues, together if not. Long as a board, pelvis is below the shoulders. Imagine my hands hovering from your shoulder blades. Puff your upper back into my hands. Firm your belly in towards your spine. Lift up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee. Push down and out into the arms, pushing down into the roller and out into the band as if you're trying to split it in half. Here we go. Exhale, tap the knees down. 2, 3. Inhale, pelvis lengthens towards the heels as you lift them up. 2, 3. Exhale, tap them down. 2, 3. Inhale, pick them up. 2, 3. Exhale, tap them down. 2, 3. Inhale, pick them up. 2, 3. And exhale, tap them down. 2, 3. Inhale, pick them up. 2, 3. One more. Exhale, tap. 2, 3. Inhale, lift. 2, 3. Lower the knees. Let's come back into that child's pose we started in, pushing the forehead into the band. 2, 3. Exhale, let your inner thighs pull you back into the pose. Inhale, forehead pushes into the band. Inner thighs pull you back into the pose. And one more time, forehead pushes into the band. And making your way up to a comfortable seated position, taking that loop band off of your wrists and the band off of your thighs. Great job. We're going to move into some back work. What I'd like you to do is tie your second to lightest Theraband, this is your long band, to your roller. You'll tie it a quarter of the way in. If you're working with a half roller, it's going to be closer to the edge, because what I want you to do is after you put it on the edge or a quarter of the way in, you're going to lie supine and drape your knees, your legs, over that roller. You'll take the excess of the band into your dominant hand. So we're lying supine, band goes under the knees, dominant hand has the excess of the band. Wrap it around the knuckles, thumb on the outside. And from here, you want to make sure that knot is tight because you're going to be doing an overhead press with this arm. Now, if you have a really tight front shoulder, I'd rather you go from this position where you're bending at your elbow and pressing overhead. If your front of your shoulder is not so tight, you can do a full frontal raise overhead. So you decide where your shoulders are today, but everybody should be moving slow. So it's either a press overhead or a frontal raise, like a Frankenstein arm all the way overhead. Now the opposite leg is going to come up and the other hand will come to the hip. So bring the arm and leg up to 90. Arm and leg up to 90, straighten the leg. And we're going to lower the limbs at the same time. That leg is going to hover from the roller, from the floor. The other leg should be pushing down into the roller to keep it from moving, engaging the hamstring. Inhale overhead. Hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. And inhale everything back up into the air. Exhale, lowering down, pulling with the inner thigh. Hold at the bottom. Inhale, pelvis reaches towards the roller. Exhale, inner thighs pull down towards the floor. Inhale, lift the limbs up. And one more time. Exhale, reaching. Hold. Inhale 1. Breathe. Exhale 1. And inhale, lifting back up to center. Go ahead and switch sides. Now, if you're noticing the leg that's lowering and lifting has pain in your hip flexor or quadricep, work with more pelvic flexion. Try to tuck your pelvis under. You can also take this band, the loop band we had around the thighs, off. You don't have to work with it on here. So wrapping our non-dominant arm and beginning when you're ready, both arm and leg up, other hand to the hip, and make sure that the hand that's on the hip is guiding that pelvis towards the roller, keeping your side body long, not allowing that QL to crunch up or the hip to hike. Inhale, taking that arm and leg down. Hold it down here. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, stay at the bottom, tuck the pelvis if you need to. And now inhale, lifting the limbs up. Exhale, lower down immediately. Plug your shoulders down, find that upper back imprint, pelvic flexion. On your next inhale, lift the limbs up. And one more time, exhale, lower down, shoulder down the back, chin lifted, front ribs reaching for the back ribs. And inhale, lifting back up. From here, this Theraband we have tied. It's our second to lightest. I'd like you to just take it off your roller for a second. You don't need to untie that loop you've created. We'll use the excess outside of that loop. We're going to bring our back against the wall. And if you have a really tight low back, I find that sometimes putting the roller under the knees here as you're seated feels good. If you don't have such a tight low back, you can keep the legs extended if you can sit up tall without slouching. You're going to wrap the excess, so don't worry about that knot. Work from the end of that knot and bring your arms into a T above, a diamond above your head, like so. So you've wrapped from the ends of the band so that there's not much excess. And then we're going to do a lat pull down. So one arm stays in place and the other pulls down like a chicken wing variation on the reformer down to the side of the body. Try to keep an imprint against the wall as those arms go down. So one arm is imprinted, the other one slides against the wall. It does a nice wall slide. Really press the shoulder blades into the wall. Stay on your dominant arm for now. Think about the upper back. How much can you imprint it? Where are you working too hard? Is your wrist breaking? Keep the wrist flat. You can always slacken the band if you're unable to get the elbow to the side of the body. Plug the shoulders down. Give me one more here. And one. And switch to that non-dominant arm. If you need a quick fold forward, take that fold over the legs. Imprint the upper back. So I love this exercise because you can really feel when you're using momentum. You can't really use momentum here and keep the imprint. So you have to move on the breath. Exhale, slowly lower. And inhale, lifting up. Hear that Ujjayi breath. Like Darth Vader. Make sure as you do that breath, you're not pushing the belly out. You're pulling it in. Remember, think about the sternum, the breastbone, and the front ribs reaching for the back ribs. Push the back ribs into the wall. Give me 3 more here. Taking your time. Once you've completed your 3rd repetition, set the band to the side and fold over those legs. If you have any low back issues, make sure you're pulling in your abs and lifting up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee to contract that transverse abdominis. Relax the neck. Close the eyes here. Inhale 1, breathe. And exhale. Inhale, feel your pelvis pulling towards the floor. Exhale, feel your inner thighs pulling back to the wall. Inhale, pelvis pulls down to the floor. Exhale, inner thighs pull back to the wall. Let's round up slowly. We're going to need a 3-pound weight. We're going to stay seated against the wall. If you're experiencing any low back discomfort here, you can do this next exercise standing against the wall. If you're comfortable seated, you can remain seated with the legs extended, or you can keep that foam roller under your knees. Do what is best for you. Make sure you're not slouching. So we're going to come into cactus with the weight in our dominant hand, both arms in cactus. The weighted hand is going to press and slide up the wall. The other hand's just going to stay where it is. Try to keep that imprint of the upper back here. Watch out for shoulder elevation. And it helps me because I tend to not use my low abs as much as I should, to really every inhale pull my pelvis down because it allows me to find my obliques and my lower pelvic floor. And every exhale pull the inner thighs back so I can stay connected to them. So when I say back with the inner thighs, I mean back and down. So like down towards the floor and down towards the wall behind you so that you can really feel that internal lift. It's almost like an elevator riding up the shaft of your torso. That's what that pelvic floor lift feels like. Keep that going. Give me 1 more on this side and then I want to hit the non-dominant side. If you need a quick release forward, take your forward fold. Otherwise, let's go immediately to the second side, finding our imprint, working on combating kyphosis. And we're going to inhale up, pelvis goes down as the arm goes up. Exhale, inner thighs pull back to the wall as the arm comes down. So there's all this opposition, energy. We're never just sitting into the body, putting pressure on the joints. Plug the shoulders down, inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Feel that sternum melting in towards the wall behind you, shoulder blades really pressing as heavy as they can. Soften the facial muscles, lift the chin. Let's do 4 more. We can't ever do enough on our non-dominant side to balance out. So we'll always do some extra repetitions because I want your body to become a little more even. Once you've completed the 4th repetition using your breath, take a quick release over those legs. Final stretch. If you're standing, standing forward fold is fine. Standing forward fold looks like this. If you're on the floor, take that forward fold we did before, either with the roller under the knees or not. Point your toes here, hold the outsides of the feet, relax the neck, lift the chin a little. Inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the floor, and this is the same no matter if you're standing or sitting. Exhale, inner thighs pull back to the wall behind you. Again, inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Let's all round up slowly for 5, 4, brace your abs, 3, 2, 1. Great job. We're going to move into some lower body work, but before we do, I'd like to open up with a chair Psoas stretch, just to open up those hip flexors. We'll sit profile in a chair. We'll start with our dominant leg back, our non-dominant leg forward in a lunge. So it's essentially a supported lunge. Make sure your front foot has contact with the floor. If you need a book or a yoga block, I'm thinking ahead. Put it under that front foot. You can take your same arm as the back leg up to shoulder flexion, plugging the shoulder down. Inhale, imagine I'm holding that pelvis and I'm pulling it down towards the floor. Exhale, feel your inner thighs pull back. You can almost straighten that back leg, really opening up the quadricep and hip flexor. And use your breath here. This is not a pleasant stretch for lordosis. This is one of the hardest ones to do correctly. So if you notice the chest tensing, be patient with yourself. Soften the pecs, soften the front of the shoulders. Take your gaze a little higher than eye level. We don't want the neck to get involved here. And if you're able to keep your hips even, if you don't notice that your front leg's hip is hiked, it's nice and square to the wall in front of you. That means the bony protrusions are shining like headlights to the wall in front of you. Then you can bend to the side on an exhale, adding that lateral flexion in. If you're not square, I'd advise staying center and keep working on the lift of those lower abs. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Keep engaging your lower pelvic floor. Use your exhales. Let's go to the other side, setting up on the other side slowly. It's going to be important that you catch yourself when you're grabbing in the front of the quads and the hip flexors, this groin area, because we don't want to continue to over-recruit them. We want to learn to use our abs, and we want to build up those underactive hamstrings and glutes. So that takes awareness of what's happening in your pelvis. So I always give you the option of tucking the butt under like a scared puppy and working in flexion when you feel those quads and hip flexors recruiting. Now, if you have disc or low back issues, I'd advise you to not do flexion and to stick with a neutral pelvis. So that's somewhere between arching and somewhere between rounding. You're on the other side, make sure you're doing lateral flexion or you just have shoulder flexion or your hands on your hip. Be where you are as long as you're feeling a nice stretch in that back leg. Keep your chin lifted, gaze soft, a little higher than eye level, shoulders down the back, squaring off the hips. Use the breath. 2 more breaths here. Our next exercise is going to be on the roller. We're going to be by a wall. We have tied, you're going to tie a quarter of the way in or right on the end, your second to lightest Theraband so that the excess can go in your outside hand for when you step up onto the roller. I'd like you to bring your second to lightest loop band around your ankles. What we'll be doing is scaption with the outside arm and just an isometric hold, so it'll be at a V. And with the inside leg, we're going to be doing an isometric hold of a hamstring curl. So that loop band that's around your ankles is going to, you'll bring the metatarsal, the foot into the band, and you'll kick it towards your butt. Let's first make our way up onto the roller, holding the excess of the band in your outside hand. I would advise that you start with your non-dominant hand loaded. So non-dominant hand is going to be loaded. This will mean that your dominant leg will bear the weight of the lower body work, which is the hardest component of this exercise. So non-dominant hand has the band, and we are just going to take that arm into scaption in front of us. And the loop band that's around the ankles, we're going to bring the inside foot into the loop band. So coming up, holding that hamstring curl, and we've got scaption. We're going to hold here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale, so it's the inside foot, and the foot is inside that loop band, and you're kicking it towards your bum. So you got to bring the arch of the foot into the band and then kick it back. Inner thighs together, tuck your pelvis, arm comes to that V. Hold it here. Plug the shoulders down, soft bend in the supporting knee. Use the feet, use that foot that's down. Wrap it around the roller like a bird wraps its foot around a branch. Take the outside arm up to shoulder flexion, scaption, V position in line with your chest. Hold it here. Inhale and exhale. Breathe, inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to move into a little hamstring kickback. So that same foot, I want it to kick back and bring it in. Exhale, kick it back. Inhale, pelvis reaches to the roller as it comes in. Exhale, inner thighs pull back as you kick back. Inhale, in. The arm can go out as the leg goes out and then come in as it comes in. And make sure the pelvis pulls down. Don't lock out in your supporting knee. Really point the toes, wrapping them around the roller. Give me 2 more. 2. And last one, soft bend in the supporting knee. 1. And slowly stepping off the roller, bending both knees as you step off and making your way to the other side. So when you step on, make sure the knees are soft. You've got to be holding onto a wall, bar, or a counter for safety purposes. This side will be a little harder because you'll be standing on your non-dominant leg. The arm is in scaption and the inside leg is our loaded leg. So the inside leg closest to the wall, comes in to the band. And we do this because the outside arm is loaded and it's giving it some weight and stability, and we're working that outer hip this way. Bend the supporting knee, supporting leg's knee, tuck your pelvis under, keep your focus up, eye level, and really kick the heel with the butt here, taking those pointed toes towards the butt and the hamstring curl. Hold that. Inhale and exhale. You're doing great. Inhale and exhale. Just isometric hold here. Inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the roller. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. And inhale, pelvis pulls down. And exhale, inner thighs pull back. So now movement. Leg goes out. Leg comes in. Hamstring kickback. Stay nice and parallel. You can move the arm with it. Exhale, inner thighs pull out. Arm goes out. Inhale, pelvis pulls down as you come in to steady you. Feel the lower abs pulling in and up. The shoulders plugged down. Chin lifted. Always soft bend in your supporting knee. 1 more. Excellent. Let's put both feet down, soft knees, and we'll make our way off of the roller. You're going to bring your second to heaviest loop band around your outer thighs now. And keep the band that's tied around the roller on it. You're not going to hold it for this exercise, but I don't want you to remove it because we're going to use it pretty soon. So I'd like you to step up, and it doesn't matter which side you step up on first this time. So just step up on one side onto the roller, holding onto the wall. And whatever leg is on the outside, farthest away from the roller. So make sure your knees are soft. You're going to kick the outside heel to your butt, grabbing it with that outside hand. Make sure the inside foot, the toes are wrapped around the roller, soft bend in the knees, quadriceps stretch here. Focus up, eye level. Breathe here, inhale. And exhale, inner thighs. Pull that thigh back a little bit. Inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the roller. Exhale, inner thighs help you deepen the posture. And 1 more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly bringing that foot back to the roller. Soft bend in the knees. You can step forward or back, and we'll take it to the other side. Always getting up slowly, mindfully, finding your focus of your eyes, your lift of your core. One side's going to be harder than the other. Make sure there's a soft bend in the supporting knee. And you can always do this on the ground. We learned this in the level 1, but if this feels too precarious, do it on the ground. Or if you need a yoga strap or a loop band or something to catch your foot because you can't reach it, you can also hold that in your outside hand to help you out. One more breath here. And let's slowly step off of the roller, bending the knees. Great job. We're going to move into some footwork as well as balance work in the frontal plane. We have our second to lightest band tied around our Theraband, tied around our roller. And we're going to step up for some footwork. You're going to keep the second to heaviest band around your outer thighs. And I want you to, it doesn't matter which side you start on for this one. Probably your non-dominant arm is going to be a little easier if you start on that side. So non-dominant arm loaded with the outside band. And all you're going to do is hold it in an overhead press the entire time to give you a little resistance. Go ahead and step on up, holding onto that wall bar or counter. The arm stays here. You're going to bend your knees ever so slightly. If you have back issues, keep your legs hip distance apart. Otherwise, they can be together. Now, make sure your heels are hanging off. You're kind of on the pads of the feet and the toes. We're going to do a little pedaling. You're going to not move at all on your inhale. You're going to feel your pelvis pull down to the roller. And on your exhale, you're going to pedal, bending one knee and the other, stretching out those calves, challenging the balance. Please stop on every inhale and pull your pelvis down, keeping the knees soft, and then move on your exhales. So this mimics movement we do in down dog or pedaling that we do using the Pilates reformer bar, but we now have the challenge of stability. And I don't want the roller moving out from underneath you, but with this band up, it gives you some opposition so the roller is steadied a little bit. Let's slowly step off and we're going to make our way to the other side. Let's set up on the other side. And the pause is important because otherwise you can start going so fast that you lose your balance and the roller comes out from underneath you. And we do not want that. Soft bend in the knees. Hold that band up. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, move on the breath. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, pelvis pulls down to the roller. Pull the low abs in. Exhale. And so it's really a gastrocnemius stretch more than anything, but you're having to wrap those toes around the roller and really work the plantar flexion of the feet to stay on the roller. You're feeling how much work is involved in the lower abs to actually work your feet. You want to work your feet by using and initiating. Everything initiates from your center. Give me one more. Great. From here, we're going to let that band fall down. And we're going to grab our 3-pound weight. We can keep this band around our outer thighs. And let's stand. We're going to step back up onto the roller, but make sure your non-dominant arm is to the outside, farthest away from the wall. So the non-dominant arm is loaded, essentially, with the weight. And I want you to step up onto the roller. And you're going to be hugging the wall with the body. And we're just going to step away from the wall just a foot and kick the inside leg to our butt in that hamstring curl. The loaded arm is in an overhead press, finding our balance. So holding it here. Inhale 1, breathe. And you can test your balance, keeping a soft bend in the knees. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Feel the pelvis pull down. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3, and stepping back towards the wall. We'll repeat one more time. So frontal plane, step to unilateral balance. We're just stepping to the side on the roller. Let's do one more. So stepping to the side, same thing we just did. Hold, hamstring curl, inside leg, point the toes, plantar flexion. Wrap the toes that are on the roller around it. Pull the pelvis down towards the roller. Soft bend in the supporting knee. Pull your shoulder blades together. Lift your chin up. Excellent. Okay, slowly make your way off. Let's go to the other side. So we're stepping through space. If you're on a half roller, this is going to be very minute because you're starting on the roller. So step up onto the roller and your outside hand is in shoulder flexion the entire time. And I want you to step to the side into your hamstring curl. So it's this way. So your profile, and you're just stepping profile. So no turning, just stepping, hamstring curl, hold it, point the toes, soft bend in the knee. Inhale 1, breathe. exhale 1, inhale 2, exhale 2, inhale 3, exhale 3, and let's repeat one more time. Step towards the wall, and then we'll step to the end of the roller, finding that hamstring curl overhead press. Test the balance. Hold it here. Pull the pelvis down, inhale. Pull the inner thighs back, exhale. Pull the pelvis down, inhale. Inner thighs back, exhale. Inhale, pelvic floor muscles lift in and up. And exhale, bringing the arm and leg down, slowly making your way off of the roller. From here, we're going to go into a nice postural stretch. I'd like you to set that weight to the side, and we're going to step up with our non-dominant arm farthest away from the wall. So have your dominant hand right by the wall. Step on up to the roller and wrap the toes around it. Soft bend in the knees. If you have back issues, keep your legs hip distance apart. If you have back issues, you're not going to do this next exercise. I want you to stand and do another wall cactus. If you do not have any low back issues, soft bend in the knees. We're going to begin a forward fold, keeping that at the inside hand on the wall as you walk down the wall. Soft bend in the knees, wrap the toes around the roller, keep the knees bent. This allows you, with those open hamstrings, to go a little bit further. Keep the neck released. You can always hold a yoga block or something if you can't reach the floor. If you can reach it with that outside hand, just put the fingertips on the ground. Try to relax the back of your neck. Try to relax the neck. Try to relax the facial muscles here. And just use your breath. If you're feeling steady here, exhale, inner thighs. Pull back as you bend the knees a little bit. Inhale, pelvis pulls down to the roller as you straighten the knees a little bit. And this is just 5 or so inches. It's not a big movement of the legs. Now, if you're not feeling steady enough, I'd just hold here isometrically and feel the energy. Inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the roller. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. One more breath here. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. And exhale, inner thighs pull back, holding onto the wall, bracing your abdominals, bending the knees. Feel the pelvis pull down as you begin to round up. Use your abs. Slow and steady to make our way back up. Once your head's landed up on your spine, your focus is up, your knees are soft, you can step off the roller, and we're going to make our way to the other side. Now, if you're against the wall in cactus, go ahead and just forward fold. It looks like this, and allow your arms to pendulum here. Everybody else stepping up on the other side slowly, and we're going to begin that fold on the second side, holding onto the wall, soft bend in the knees, and beginning to walk down. If you needed a yoga block or something to hold on to with the outside hand, you're more than welcome to use that. If you're in your pendulum because you've just done that wall cactus, allow gravity to let those arms circle out. External rotation from the arm sockets, from the shoulder sockets. Now, everybody else, we're here, soft bend in the knees, breathing, inhale, and exhale, playing around with bending and straightening the knees as long as you feel steady enough. Use your toes even here. Wrap them around the roller like a bird would around a branch. Point the toes. They'll help you find that adductor line when you're really plantar flexing. Soft bend in the knees. So exhale to bend. Inhale to pull the pelvis down as you straighten. Exhale to bend. And inhale, pull it down. And let's all round up together, tucking the tailbone, bending the knees, using the toes, bracing the pelvic floor, muscles that stop your stream of pee. Head lands last, soft knees, and we'll step off the roller slowly. Great job. Okay, we're moving on to a squat series. We have the second to heaviest band around our outer thighs and the second to lightest Theraband tied to our foam roller. You're going to start by stepping up with your non-dominant hand loaded with that band. So wrap it around your outside hand, your non-dominant hand, and stand profile by that wall. Step on up, keep the knees soft. And from here, if your shoulders are tight, I want that arm to rest at your shoulder. If they're not tight, you can do a forward. You can lift it all the way through a frontal raise overhead. So if they're tight, it starts here and you press. If they're not tight, frontal raise to the overhead press. So I'd like everybody to inhale and pull your pelvis towards the roller. Exhale, let your inner thighs pull you back into a squat. Feet are hip distance apart. Arm comes up to shoulder flexion. Shift over to your outside leg at the bottom. So stay down at the bottom, shifting to the outside leg, kicking the other leg towards your butt. Pitching forward into warrior 3. Exhale. Bend your supporting knee, bend your supporting knee. And bring it back in. Legs come together. And inhale, standing up, arm comes down. Exhale, sitting back. Shoulder flexion. And shifting. Inhale, bring it forward into warrior 3. Soft bend in the knee. Try to not hike the hip. And bring it back in. Inhale, standing up tall. Give me one more. These are killer. Use the breath. Inhale. Good. And shift over. Take it forward. I like to inhale as I go forward. Exhale as I pull back into my single leg squat. Inhale to stand up. Exhale to lower the arm and leg. Inhale, no movement. Pull the pelvis down towards the roller. Exhale, sitting back. Shifting over. Inhale forward, warrior 3. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back in. Inhale, pelvis pulls down as you stand up. Exhale, arm and leg come down. Soft bend in the knees, step off the roller. Let's set up on the other side. Okay, this side's going to be harder. This is probably your non-dominant leg. Step on up. Always keep a soft bend in the supporting knee. Don't go for high. You don't have to get parallel to the floor today in your warrior 3. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, sit back into that squat. Make sure the legs are hip distance apart if you have back issues. Shift over, point the toes, and taking it forward. Hold, inhale, and exhale, bringing it in. Inhale, pelvis pulls down as you stand up. Exhale, limbs lower. And begin again when you're ready. Exhale, sitting back, shifting over. Inhale, going forward. Brace those abs. Exhale, pelvic floor muscles help you pull in. Inhale, pelvis pulls down as you come up. Exhale, lower the limbs. Pause at the top. Inhale, pelvis pulls towards the roller. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Shifting over. Inhale, forward. Plug the shoulders down. Close those front ribs. Imagine my hands on your shoulder blades. Bring the front ribs towards my hands. Good. Take it in and stand it up. We got one more. You've got this. Last one. These are going to give you the booty you've been wanting. And take it forward. Breathing in. Exhale back to that single leg squat. Inhale, stand up. Pelvis pulls down. Exhale, lowering. Good. Let's step off. We're now going to use this band that's tied to the roller. And you can keep that second to heaviest band on your outer thighs. And we're going to be stepping to balance in the transverse plane. Now, the point of stepping to balance in the transverse plane is that it is where 90% of injuries occur. And this is both in sports performance as well as everyday life. So I'd like you to start holding the band again with your non-dominant hand. Wrap it around your non-dominant hand and face the wall. So make sure the band doesn't cross you. So turn away from me, face the wall, and hold it in your outside hand. So the same leg as the hand that's loaded with that band is going to step up onto the roller the same way we've been working on the roller profile. So you'll be profile to the wall. The other hand will come to the wall, and that leg will come to the inside leg comes to the butt in the hamstring curl. So find that outside arm to your shoulder press, and then find that balance here. Hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. And let's come back to where we started, facing the wall. Try it again. See if you can really get that quarter turn without having to put the inside foot down. Now that you understand, pull the pelvis down as you go up. Soft bend in the supporting knee. Use the inner thighs. Find it. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3, and slowly make your way to the other side. Now, forewarning, this side is going to be much harder than the other side. Go very slowly, use your breath, keep a soft bend in the knee, wrap the toes around the roller. Inhale up, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Hold, inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Plug that shoulder down. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale, you're doing great. Hang in there. And exhale. And let's make our way down. Final set. Don't check out. This is an important exercise for you to be very focused. Soft bend in the knee. Step on up. Inhale. Pull the abs in. Brace them. Hold. Inhale 1. Breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. And exhale 3, coming down. Slowly take your time when you come down. Great. You won't need this band, the outside band for this next exercise, but don't detach it from the roller. Keep it here for now. So come back to the side where you're non-dominant, with your dominant hand holding the wall and non-dominant hand farthest away from the wall. And step back up onto the roller. Now, if you needed a yoga block for the forward fold, then I'd advise you grab one for this as well. If you have back issues and you're not doing this, you could do a second set of our Cactus Presses, holding that weight against the wall standing. For everybody else, we're going to twist over our outside leg and we're going to start to fold down the wall. You may want to start with your legs a little closer to the wall. Forward fold, soft bend in the knees. One hand is on the wall. We're going to walk down. Eventually, you'll frame that outside foot with your hands on the floor as your knees soften and as you increase that low back and QL flexibility. Relax the neck, hanging like a rag doll here. This is very precarious. However, it allows you to not check out. And the whole point of exercise is to use your breath and to be in the moment. So inhale, pelvis pulls down. I know that when you're acting, that's a priority, to live in the moment, to be truthful in the moment. So stay with your breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. If you're feeling any back pain, Ujjayi breath. You can always center yourself and come out of the twist if it's too much. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Everybody walk yourself center. Hold on to the wall. Inhale. Begin to round up. Pelvis pulling down. Soft knees. Tight low abs. Take your time. Use the wall. Bend the knees. Head lands last. And stepping off the roller slowly. Coming to the other side. Deep stretch for that back. Okay. If you're against the wall doing cactus presses, go ahead and switch your arm. Everybody else, step on up. Soft bend in the knees. Get close to the wall. If you're on that full length roller, you'll have a little more space to do so. Bend the knees and start to fold over your outside leg. Going towards that outside leg, bending the knees. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Next, relax, chin's lifted. Gaze is soft if your eyes are open. Hold it here. Inhale. Yes, and this side should be more flexible. Inhale. And exhale. Keep that Ujjayi breath going. Inhale. And exhale. And if you're doing those presses, inhale to press up. Exhale to press down. Lower pelvic floor muscles lifting in and up. Sound of the ocean breath, Darth Vader-like you're fogging a mirror. No pursing of the lips. Just open the mouth, constrict the vocal cords as you exhale. Let's slowly walk our way back to center, holding onto the wall. Bend the knees. Don't panic. Brace the abs. Inhale and exhale, rounding up. Soft knees, tight low abs. When you're ready, stepping off the roller slowly. Good job. We're beginning our final series, which involves lunges and balance work in the sagittal plane. So we have our second to heaviest loop band around our outer thighs. We're going to bring our roller long ways, and you're going to want to take that second to lightest loop band off if it's still on, so it's out of the way. We won't need it for the remainder of our workout. You're going to place the roller, you're going to place the top of your inside foot on the roller. So I want you to start with your dominant leg, the opposite leg of your dominant arm forward. And so the leg that is back should be the same as your dominant arm, the leg that's back. And the top of the foot is on that roller. And you're just going to slide that roller back, coming into a lunge. So the hand's on the hip, and you're going to bend the knees. And so the top of the foot is on the roller, slide it back and pull it in. Sliding it back and pulling it in. Good. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Now, if you have good range of motion, this band may be sliding and you could lose the band. The band is actually very helpful if your range of motion is pretty small and you don't know how to square your pelvis off quite yet. It can be helpful. That outside hand, bring the thumb to the bony protrusion of your hips and have your fingers sliding down towards the floor. See from here if you can guide that bony protrusion of the hip out to the side, widening your pelvis, and pull the shoulder blades together a little more. Retract them. Good. If you're feeling knee pain, decrease range of motion and brace those abs. Hear your ujjayi breath. Feel all corners of the feet pressing into the floor. Okay, let's turn around, switch sides. Great work. Setting up at the other side. Now this side should be more challenging. Your non-dominant leg. Go ahead when you're ready, exhaling back. Keep your focus of your eyes up eye level. Outside hand on the hip, thumb on the bony protrusion of the hip, fingers pointing down towards the floor. This is easy to lose the roller here. So, in an effort to not lose it, use your inner thighs as you pull back. Pull your pelvis down as you come up. Brace your lower abs. Retract your shoulder blades. Don't look down. Keep your chin lifted. Feel the outer edge of the foot pressing as much as the inner edge. Give me 4 more. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. 2 more. Inner thighs pull you back. Pelvis pulls down to the feet as you come up. And pelvic floor muscles engage. And you lift back up. Okay, turn the roller so it's flat against the wall. Long way is flat against the wall. And face me. You're going to step into a lunge and go ahead and start with your dominant leg against that roller and your non-dominant leg forward in a lunge. So the back of the heel goes against that roller to pin it, and the other leg comes forward into the lunge. From here, the same hand as the front leg stays on the hip. The other hand's going to come into a fist. You're going to inhale, pull your pelvis down. Exhale, twist and punch over that front leg. Punch. Give me 4 punches. 2 and 3 and 4. Back to center. Inhale, ground yourself, but stay in the lunge. Isometric hold in the lunge the whole time. Just ground yourself. Inhale and then twist. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Inhale, pull the pelvis down, and exhale, twist. 2, 3, 4. And one more time. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale and twist. 2, 3, and 4. Option to step forward or back. Go ahead and set up on the other side. Square the pelvis off first. Retract your shoulder blades. Thumb on the bony protrusion of the hips, fingers pointing down to the floor. Retract your shoulder blades and inhale, pull the pelvis down. Exhale, twisting from your rib cage. Keep the chest soft, shoulders down the spine. Focus up a little higher than eye level. Space between the chin and the chest. Only punching on our exhales with the inner thighs pulling back. Pausing on the inhale to ground and pull the pelvis down towards the floor, deepening into this lunge posture. You're doing great. Good. Give me 2 more sets. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, punch. 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, prepare, pull the pelvis down. And exhale, give me that punch. And 2, and 3, and 4. And stepping forward or back. Go ahead and grab your 3-pound weight. You're going to keep this second to heaviest band around your outer thighs. Final exercise standing on our band today, balance in the sagittal plane. We're stepping forward to balance and we're stepping back to balance. Hold the weight in your non-dominant hand first and bring it into this position, external rotator cuff isometric hold. Go ahead and step on up to your hamstring curl, and I want you stepping up onto your outside leg, same leg that's loaded with the weight. Find your hamstring curl, hold it here. Inhale 1, test your balance. Exhale 1, and if you don't want to test the balance, you can move the arm in on the exhale and open the forearm out on the inhale. So you can play around with movement of the arm, or you can isometrically hold and test the balance. I don't want you moving the arm with both hands off the wall though. It's a little too much going on. Use the low abs. Great. Let's step in front of our roller now slowly. Bend your knees as you step down. Now this is the precarious one. You're going to step, so your roller is behind you now. You're going to step that leg backwards up onto the roller. You got to push down to go up. Inhale down and use those low abs. It's a little easier on the full length roller than the half roller. Hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Brace those abs. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. And go ahead and step forward. We're going to switch sides. Switch the weight. Final step to balance here. Stepping up on your inhale. Bracing the abs on your exhale. Inhale, plug the shoulders down. Exhale, pull those lower abs in and up. Ujjayi breath, Darth Vader sound. No pursing of the lips. Fog of mirror. Great. Step forward. Final time. Now I want you to be extra careful here. As you're stepping back, I'd advise you doing this on the floor if you have a half roller because it's a little harder than the full length roller. You have a little more stability. Stepping back to your hamstring curl slowly. And hold here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale, pelvis pulls down, point the toes. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Front ribs reaching for the back ribs. Close off that rib cage. Lift up through your lower abdominals. Excellent. Let's make our way off the roller and take that band off our outer thighs. We're going to come to a wide-legged second position seated with our legs stretched out to the side to open up our adductors. Have your foam roller between your legs and your second to lightest loop band around your wrist as we did for child's pose. I want you to pull out on it with your fingers long, and I want you to glide forward into a forward fold here. Now, if this hurts your knees, soften the knees and bring the legs closer in towards the roller. If the knees are good, point the toes so that you really do stretch the feet and get the adductors active and opening. And we're going to breathe here. Inhale, pelvis pulls down towards the floor. Exhale, inner thighs pull back towards the wall behind you. Push down and out into those arms. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale. And walk that roller over to the right so that it's right by your right foot on the diagonal, and glide it out. Hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Walking back to center slowly and making your way to the other side, setting up, rolling out. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. Inhale, pelvis pulls down. Exhale, inner thighs pull back. And inhale, pelvis pulls down. And exhale, inner thighs pull back, walking it back to center slowly. Final 3 breaths in the center. Take it down. Rolling center. Hold it here. Inhale 1. And exhale 1, toes pointed. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. Inhale, rounding up, setting the roller and band to the side. Bring your hands by your hips on the floor. Bounce the legs slowly to bring them back in towards one another. Bounce, 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 bounce. Come to a comfortable seated position. Great job.